right here is going to be where the bait is. And then if you turn and look up through here, you can see the stand tree right up through there. It's about a 20, it's a little longer shot than I typically do, probably 25 yards. But there is a swamp straight through here. You can tell it's kind of low ground in here, a lot of willows and things like that. And then just about 40 yards that way is the edge of a swamp, and it's a pretty large swamp. And this is not really an area where you would expect to have a lot of bears on your bait, but this is a kind of a spot where you could kill a big bear, because he's just going to go lay up in that swamp 40 yards away, and then he's just going to come up here every evening and get something to eat. And I really like the way this is laid out, because a lot of background cover behind the tree and a lot of junk here between the bait and the tree, so it'll help him feel a little safer that he's got something between him and whoever's in that stand if he happens to look up there and see you. So this is a new spot, which I'm very optimistic about. We'll see how it goes. So we'll start baiting here in a couple days. Well, I hope you are as excited about this as I am, because here we go with another bear hunting season, and a whole bunch of videos and vlogs and trail camera pictures and footage of bears being shot, hopefully, and all of the things that y'all love. I mean, these vlogs, bear hunting vlogs, get a lot of traction on this YouTube channel. They get several thousand views, and it's a lot of extra work to do them. Some days I'd rather just be out there doing it instead of setting up cameras and doing all the extra work, but everybody loves them, so I just keep doing them. So a little bit of background on what's been going on recently, and then I'll give you an update on what's coming up in a little more detail. So it's been a hard summer, a lot of work this summer. There was a lot of trees down across trails and things like that. I got 15 baits that I've gone to and cleared the trails and just double checked on everything. I've hired 2 part-time guides, Bill and Jamie, and I'm pretty excited about working with them. You know, I've taken Bill to quite a few of the baits that he's going to be doing. He's going to try to do 6 or 7 baits the first day, and he's got a buddy that's going to help him. And then I'm going to try to do 7 or 8 baits the first day. Now they're predicting that Friday it's supposed to be some rain, and so if we have some rain, we're just not going to bait until after the rain, because rain washes down the scent and everything like that. And all of this work that we're doing, we want to make sure that it you know, has a 48-hour period or so where it can go to work with the gold rush and everything like that, and the scent and smell of the bait. And so, you know, we don't want to actually bait during a rain or right prior to a rain. So we're gonna have to watch the weather on Friday and see what happens, but I'm expecting to try to get anywhere from 12 to 15 baits done on Friday. I've got 7 hunters this year, and so I'm gonna run 15 baits and just kind of see how it goes. We might drop a couple of them or whatever. We might even have to add some. I kind of would be surprised if that's the case, but you know, if we have to drop some or whatever. And then about a week before the season, then we'll go out, put 3 stands on the ones that we know we're going to hunt. I've got 5 more new tree stands. Actually, I've got 5 more new tree stands and 4 more that I still have to put together. It's a great deal of effort by a lot of people to provide a bear hunt for people at a really high level, but we really want everyone to have a chance to get a bear. And now this is my 3rd year. I got 7 hunters coming in. Thought I was going to have 9. And so I was going to run the normal 6 the first week, and then 3 the second week. 2 that I expected to get tags did not get tags, and so I only have 7 hunters. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try to fit them in the first week. And so I asked the ones that were going to come the second week if they can come the first week, and they can. And so we're going to run them all in 1 week. And then that good part about that is I'll be done, and I'll be able to go to Michigan for the opening day, because I got a bear tag in Michigan. That's a whole nother vlog series that I've already done one on, but anyway, so that's coming up too. So I've got 60 buckets of trail mix ready to go here. I still got to do the breads and pastries, which is going to be probably about 20 buckets for opening day. And we probably won't use all these on opening day of baiting, but I just like to have extras just in case. And I got 5 chest freezers full of pastries and breads. I used to be able to get a lot more pastries. It's just really hard to get pastries nowadays. But I have access to a lot of bread, and just plain bread isn't very good bear bait. So what I've done in the past, and it works really well, is just dump some fryer oil on the bear baits. And I got lots of fryer oil. I got 10 buckets of fryer oil here. And so on just plain bread, I don't do it on the pastries, but plain bread, I just dump some fryer oil on it. Well, anytime that you use meat or fryer oil, it seems like it attracts wolves. And I've got some baits that are chronic problems with wolves. So I'm going to use syrup. And I've got a bunch of buckets, 5-gallon buckets, well, I guess they're actually 3.5-gallon buckets of maple syrup, and I'm going to put those on the breads in these areas where I've had problems with wolves in the past, and we'll see if that helps. I'm hoping that it does. We'll find out how that works and the dynamics of that. But I got a lot of oil, got a lot of syrup, and I'm going to be doing that in addition to the pastries, because I just don't have nearly enough pastries. We can just literally go through, 20 buckets of pastries a day. That's a lot, and I can't get that many. And I'm looking for a source for them. Do have one of my hunters is from Wisconsin, and he said, I got a source for pastries if you want me to bring some. And I said, fill your truck, man. I'll take everything you can get. So when he comes up here for the season, hopefully he'll have some. So you're going to get to meet Bill and Jamie, and I'm pretty excited about those guys. And I've had a lot of people have offered to guide for me. Some of them I actually would like to try to take on, and some of them have said, I'd just like to come and help, don't have to pay me anything, I just want to be there and help out. Well, that's great, but the problem is I only have enough beds for the paying hunters. So the 2 guides that I have are local guys, and they can go home at night, and that's the biggest issue that I have at this point, and why I really can't hire guides from outside the area. So 15 bait sites are ready. If you saw the video where I built the bridge, I actually built a bridge over a creek. There's a video on that. So it's a shortcut that'll save me a lot of time and miles of driving down pavement with a 4-wheeler to get to one of the baits. And I just got done at Costco last night spending over $1,000 on food to feed a bunch of guys, and the guides and everything in camp here. We eat pretty well. Nobody should go away hungry, I'll put it that way. A great experience for everybody, and that's my goal. It's more than just going out and shooting a bear. I just want everybody to enjoy their time in camp, and if somebody wants to jump on a 4-wheeler and ride the trails, we got opportunities for that. If somebody wants to go along and help bait, we can usually take a couple of guys and take turns or whatever, jumping in the truck to go along and run the baits. We got a couple boats here, and we're right on a lake with pretty good fishing. So there's just a lot of good things for people to do, and I enjoy cooking for people, so throw that in with the package. So anyway, I've been talking too much here. We're going to start showing you some trail camera pictures here starting next week. I'll shoot some video of us baiting on Friday and Saturday, and then we'll start checking on Sunday and Monday. And we'll have some trail camera pictures, and it should be exciting. We're hoping to get some really big bears on camera. In the past, I've had about 20% to 25% chocolate brown bears. Really hoping that we have that too, because a couple guys that are coming in are hoping to get a color phase bear. And we got guys that want to get a big one, and we got people that just want to shoot a doggone bear. And as I've been doing this, everybody has had a chance to shoot a bear, and I would like to keep that record going. So thanks for joining me. Man, subscribe so you don't miss anything, and hit that bell so every time I upload one of these vlogs over the next few weeks, you'll get a notification. If you're not a subscriber and you're a bear hunter, this is the #1 bear hunting channel on YouTube, so you're crazy if you're not a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button, and if you like these videos, it helps them get more traction, and it also helps me, because the more people that see it, the nominal amount I get from YouTube helps pay for my gas a little bit, I guess, anyway. So we'll see you in a couple days. It's opening day of bear baiting season here in Minnesota. And pretty excited about it. I got some hunters coming in. I'm really looking forward to getting them their bears. Some of them it'll be their first bear. Others are looking for a bigger bear or a color phase or whatever. But I just get a real kick out of helping other people be successful. So really looking forward to a good season. I'm glad you're riding shotgun. And today we're going to be out in the woods. Bill, my main guide, is him and a buddy are going to put out 6 or 7 baits today. I'm going to try to get out quite a few baits as well. I had another guy that was going to help out, and then just day before yesterday he just texted me that he had a whole bunch of stuff come up and he's not going to be able to help. So I just put something on Facebook last night, and I got a couple guys that said, hey, we want to help, and so they're on their way over here right now. So you'll get a chance to meet them in a little bit. But hopefully the lake came up because it rained almost all night, and as you can see, we got a lot of water sitting around here. So it's going to be a soggy one out there in the woods this morning, but should be good. Got a lot of great sights, and I'm excited about sharing it with you. So time to go to work. Here we go. Alright, let's go kill some bears. Well, it is 6:30 a.m. here on Sunday mornings, 2 days after we put the baits out. It's a cool morning, about 50 degrees, and we've got a pretty stout east wind coming across the lake here. Very humid. It's been raining off and on ever since we put the baits out, unfortunately. So it's going to make it tough for bears to find the baits because the scents keep getting washed down. I mean, the humid weather is very good for dispersal of the scent, but the rain tends to knock it down. So, but we're going to go out today and run baits probably till 2:30 or 3, and we don't want to bump bears off the bait, so we quit, you know, well before the mid-afternoon when the bears could start showing up. And we'll just see what happens. Hopefully we'll have a few of them are hit, and we're going to gold rush them again. I typically don't gold rush them a second time. I just go with the sprays after the first time, but we're definitely going to hit them with a gold rush a second time here because of all this rain. And there's more rain in the forecast. It's supposed to rain again tonight. Bill's going to be here in a little while. You're going to like Bill. He's got a can-do attitude, and he's a positive guy, and just seems like he's having a blast with what we're doing here. Same age as I am, within a few months actually, but he's not afraid of hard work, and he just loves being in the woods, and so I think you're really going to like him. I think he's going to be a good guide for me this year. So I got everything loaded up here, loaded it all up last night, and we're going to hit the woods and hopefully show you some trail camera pictures. Well, just like that, we're back. We got 14 of the 15 baits done before 3 o'clock, which is when I want to get out of the woods. And I had a hot shower and grilled me a hunk of meat on the grill. And now I'm just kind of relaxing at camp here and kind of reeling a little bit, I guess, about how today went. I told you that we've had all this rain. It's been raining off and on since we put the baits out. Weather's just not been conducive to getting bears on the baits. And I told Bill when we went out this morning, I said, if we have half the baits are hit, I'll be happy. And I'm afraid I was even optimistic at that, because we had 4 bears out of 14 baits. And the 15th bait is right near Bill's house, and so he's going to jump on the wheeler tomorrow and run that one. 2 of them are nice bears. One of them's a toad that is in a spot where we've always had good bears. We've killed bears, and so I guess, you know, it's early. We're gonna skip a day again and then go run them again. And we did hit them with Gold Rush again. I usually only use Gold Rush when I first put them out, but because of all this rain, I decided to go ahead and hit them with Gold Rush a second round. So we did them all with the Gold Rush again today, spraying it up in the trees and dumping it in front of the barrel and all that. We did add some bait to some of the barrels, but we came home with about half the bait we took out, even more than half that we took out. So it was a little discouraging, but it's really early, and I think you know, next couple days are going to be better. So it's way too early to get discouraged about it. You know, it's just tough right now, and there's quite a bit of natural foods out there that most of the acorns have dropped and are dropping, which is unusual. You know, they really don't drop that much until the 1st of September normally, but I think they're stressed because it's been dry. It looked like the raspberries were going to totally bomb, but they just kind of got a second wind here over the last week, and there's still quite a bit of raspberries out there in some areas. Hazelnuts don't look too bad, so there's a fair amount of natural foods out in the woods. We're going to go after it again, and I'll bet you that, and unless it just keeps raining, the next time through we're going to be a lot more optimistic. So hang in there. We're going to have some good stuff for you coming up pretty quick. One advantage of working with Northwoods Bear Products is that they sometimes send me some stuff before it comes on the market, so I can test it out. Like if you look at this one here, you see the words on that are blacked out, so it's top secret, and I can't really tell you what these new ones are going to be, but you'll find out eventually. Well, got good news for you. So Bill checked that one last bait this morning. It's the moose bait, and had 2 big bears on it, and it was almost completely cleaned up. So that's really good news. So we ended up with 6 bears out of 15 baits, and today it's Monday, so it'd be day 4, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's an ideal day. Ideal weather for bears to be moving around. 74 degrees and just a light steady wind, about 10-15 miles an hour. It's just ideal for getting bears on the bait. So I'm expecting the next round to be a lot better than the first round. So I'm just about ready to go here for in the morning. We're going to run them all again tomorrow, and I'll bring you another video in a few days, and it should be getting better and better and better. So thanks for tagging along. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, or ask questions if you got questions in the comment section. So we'll see you tomorrow. Well, here we go, another day in paradise. We're going to run all the baits today, and now that the bears have started to hit, we're going to try to do everything between 9 and 3. And if we don't get to all of them, we don't. But I really don't like to bump bears off the baits at any time of the day. And so, you know, I do my baiting at the times of the day when it's least likely that the bears are going to be there. So we're going to plan to be at the first bait about 9 and try to be done by 3. And as you saw from the previous video, things started really slow. There was so much rain knocking the scent down. The bears weren't moving much. We only had 6 bears in our first trip through the 15 baits, but yesterday was pretty much an ideal day for the bears to find the baits. A steady wind, light wind, and highs in the 70s. Now today is supposed to get up in the low 80s, and it's supposed to be another really good day for bear movement. And then we got 2 days of rain coming up again, but I would think that things are going to blow up pretty good here today. I would expect that the majority of the baits will have bears on them by now. So we're going to go look at those, and Bill's going to be here in a little while. So Bill and I are going to run the baits together today, and we can get through them pretty quick that way, I think. And I got about 30 buckets of bait loaded on the trailer and on the side-by-side, and then we can stop back here. We'll be going right by here in case we need more before we hit the last 3 or so. So let's go hit them, and at the end of this video then I'll just have a nice selection of trail camera pictures and videos of some good bears for you, hopefully.
3:30 in the morning. And I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but I woke up at 2:30, just started rolling through my mind all the things that need to get done, and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to go back to sleep, so I might as well just get up and start doing them. Well, the good part about getting in out of the woods after you just fed a lot of bears and you were dumping buckets into barrels and you just had a really good day and you looked at all the trail camera pictures and it's so exciting, then you realize you've got about 50 empty buckets that have got to be filled. But part of the program. So I just want to give you a quick update here. This is Friday. It's we baited last Friday, so this would be the 8th day. We have 14 of the 15 baits are active, and some of them are really blowing up. I mean, there's several of them that are just being cleaned out every time we come back. We have one bait, and here's a strange situation. These things, you know, the more you learn about this, the more you have things that happen that you cannot explain. And one of my best baits, in fact, we've killed 3 bears in the last 2 years off of this bait. And when we went there, I took Bill out there to show him where the baits are. And when we got to this bait, there's 3 fresh piles of bear scat where the barrel goes. And this was a few days before opener of baiting even, so the bears are like, come on, it's time, let's go. And then out of the 15 baits that I've got out, that is the only one that has not been hit in a week. And it's, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, that's just the way this stuff goes. It's weird. So I've got a lot of bears on the baits. I'm thinking out of 14 baits, I'm going to say it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 35-ish bears are on the baits, and a lot of really nice males, and males in the daylight. You know, I mean, it's still 2 weeks till the season, unfortunately, but things are looking really good right now, and it's always really fun to come back after a day in the woods and have that kind of activity on the bait, so that's pretty cool. One more thing I wanted to mention that's a little disappointing. You know, I've told you in the past about how I have some baits that just have chronic problems with wolves, and sometimes when the wolves move in, the bear activity really drops. So I decided not to put any fryer oil, and I used breads and pastries and so forth, but I dumped fryer oil on the breads to make them. The bears love it when you do that. But rather than do that on these baits where I've had problems with wolves, I decided to just put maple syrup on it. So I've got buckets of maple syrup, and I'm using breads and putting maple syrup on them, and I put them out there, and the baits that I did not put any fryer oil and only used maple syrup still have wolves on them. I can't see that it changed anything at all. So that's pretty disappointing, but at least, you know, now I know. So we'll, that's a battle that we have to continue to fight. So I'm just going to run a bunch of trail camera pictures for you, and if you enjoy watching these pictures and videos, I'll just run a few, and then I'll be back here in a little bit after you look at these videos of bears, and we'll talk about what's coming up.
about 9:30, and I'm entering the first bait site of the day here. And as I've told you before, I try to minimize spooking the bears off the baits. So we got about a 5 to 6 hour window in the middle part of the day where we run the baits, because in the mornings and evenings it's so much more likely that we could spook the bears. So we are entering the second phase of the baiting strategy right now. Up until now, Bill and I have been running all the baits, checking the cameras, getting a feel for how many bears are on each bait and how much bait they're eating. And starting now, we're splitting up, and we are just running the number of baits that need to have bait put on. And we're always trying to achieve a balance between minimizing the intrusion that happens when you go to a bait versus making sure that there's always bait there when a bear comes, and we always want a bear to get rewarded with something good to eat every time he comes to the bait. So there's that balance. So I'm doing 5 of the 15 baits kind of in the south part of my area here. Bill is doing 5 kind of the northern part of it, and we're going to just do those 10 baits, and then we'll start alternating based on how much bait the sites need. And things are going pretty good. We've got a lot of really big male bears on the baits this year. I figure I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 32 to 35 bears on the 14 baits that are working, and that sounds like a heck of a lot, but if you look at it this way, half a dozen of those are yearlings that we don't consider shooters at this point. Another half a dozen are just pure nocturnal. Then there's 2 sows that have collars, and we don't mind shooting bears with tags, but we don't want to shoot the bears with the collars because they have a lot of GPS data going to the DNR, and we learn so much about these bears and their movements and habits and things like that with those collars. So we don't want to take away the opportunity to continue to learn. So, you know, when you take those bears out, then, you know, it doesn't sound like as many, but the acorns are really falling right now. You know, I got a bur oak right at camp there, and the acorns they're just banging on the truck and on the roof all night. There's a couple of oak trees there that are dropping, and a lot of acorns started dropping early this year, but they've continued to drop. There seems to be a pretty strong acorn crop. We don't have, most of this area that I hunt does not have a lot of oak trees, but the bears know where the oak trees are, and they tend to migrate towards them. So you know, we might kind of lose some of them for a while here, but they'll be back, and hopefully they'll be back in time for somebody to shoot them. I know that people are asking questions, and I would encourage you that if you have a question about the strategies that I use and why I'm doing what I'm doing, feel free to leave a comment below, and at the end, maybe I might even just dedicate a whole video just to answering the questions and kind of explaining in more detail why I do things the way I do. I really do things different than a lot of guides, and it comes from the fact that I spent 20 years as a do-it-yourself public land bear baiter, and I've adapted some of those strategies, so I didn't start out as a guide. And I think that's very beneficial to the people who watch this, who are hunting on their own as well. But anyway, this bait is getting pounded. There's a big chocolate in here. Man, it would be so fun if somebody got a chance at him. We've killed a really big bear off this bait before, and it's just a real good bait. So I got 4 buckets to get in there and top off this barrel. Here we go. Well, I'm back in camp here. Bill just got back. We went through the pictures, and things have changed a lot in the last 2 days. So we each checked 5 baits, the ones that were being hit the hardest, and we have at least a dozen new bears today. So we're going to have to start hitting these baits more often. Some of the baits were just completely wiped out. I mean, there wasn't a scrap left. Anyway, I got to think this through. I was not going to run the baits tomorrow. In fact, I got to go home, wash a load of clothes, and upload this video. And my grandson wants to come up, so I'll pick him up and bring him up. And then, so tomorrow's out, but then Tuesday we really got to get to work and kind of reevaluate this. We may have to just run all the baits every day here for a while. And if we can hold these bears, it's just ridiculous right now. Surprising considering there's a lot of natural foods in the woods, and I really thought this was going to be a little tougher year. I mentioned in an earlier video that my son Cody he's got a wedding in Brazil. It's actually today, and he and his wife have been married for a while here in the United States, but she wanted a traditional Brazilian wedding, and so I really wanted to go down, and I know they're really disappointed that I'm not there, but it just didn't work. Tried to make it in less than 5 or 6 days, but it really looks like it takes 6 days to do it, to get down there and be there for a couple days and then get back. And so I just had to pass on it. My wife's going to be down there. She's been down there for a week and a half now, and at least she can be there. Anyway, here is some more pictures of bears, and we'll see you in the next video after this.
hand?
It's a bear track. It's a front foot of probably a yearling bear, like 100 to 120 pound bear, small bear. It's the front foot track. This is right in here.
Oh, it's swimming.
No,
No?
beaver. See, the beaver went through there and then looked on the other side of you. He went right down. He's going out in the woods right here, cutting trees down,
Right.
and then dragging them back up in.
Whoa! So then where do you think its beaver pond is?
Well, what a long, difficult day. I've been up since 2:30. So my wife came back from Brazil. She was on her way home from the Minneapolis airport when the car broke down in Monticello, Minnesota. So she coasted off the exit and pulled into a Perkins parking lot. Got a ride from her sister, so she got home. So I unloaded everything off the trailer, went down there, loaded the car up with my grandson Skylar, brought it up to Brainerd to my mechanic, and we just did that. That's noon, and it turns out it's got a broken timing chain, and the car has 240,000 miles on it. So I just drove it over to Crowbank Recycling, and they picked it off the trailer and threw it in a pile, and now I got to find my wife a car. But since I'm in Brainerd, I need more bear bait, so I'm going to run down to Wildwood and get 3 barrels of trail mix. And then my side-by-side Polaris Ranger is sitting at a mechanic in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and it's got a bent drive shaft, which is going to cost $1,000 to fix. But they said I could pick it up tonight. They'll leave it set outside so I can get it on my way by, and I can use it to hang stands tomorrow and then bring it back in on Monday when they have the parts. So I'll pick up my wife after work and go back up to Bear Camp, and I got 3 pickups up there, so she can bring one of my pickups home, and that way she'll have a way to drive back and forth to work this week. So a very unexpected turn of events, but anyway, by tomorrow we're going to be baiting and hanging tree stands again. Crazy stuff, man. Well, it's 7 a.m. here on a Saturday. It is 7 days until the bear season starts. And we've been hammering away here. Just going to give you a little update. And today is stand setting day. So we're going to go out and hang 10 tree stands. We're basically entering phase 3, I guess you would say, of the way I do this, my system, so to speak, of doing these bear baits. So we get 15 baits going, but I picked the top 10 because we've got some that mostly have nocturnal bears. We got some that just have yearlings on them and so forth. And so we're going to hang stands on 10 today. So we're cutting back. I had to go get bait. As you saw, yesterday was a freak day. Completely lost a day and a half of work basically, but at any rate we're plugging away here, and I got Josh and Daryl coming back. They volunteered to come help me put baits out on the opening day of baiting, and they said, you know, if you want help with anything else, call us up. So I said, when we hang stands, if you want to come, and they're coming. So we're going to have a steak fry. I'm going to put a bunch of ribeyes on the grill when we get back today. And so those 10 stands that we're putting out, we're putting both ladder stands and hang-on stands out, and that should be enough for 7 hunters, and we can always add more. Some baits we could potentially kill 2 bears off of. Other baits obviously we won't. That's today's job, and so it's going to be a long day in the woods. All right, so let's hit the woods. I got my grandson Skylar with me, and I'm going to be taking Daryl, and then Bill and Josh are going to be hanging kind of the north end of the area, and we're each going to take
ladders and hang-on stands and hang 5 each, and hopefully we can be out of the woods by about 3. Picking through the stuff that they like. They're leaving sunflower seeds. They're eating a lot of just the sweets. So that's what we run into when there's a lot of natural foods. We're going to keep baiting them, and they keep coming back. So here we go.
That's how you do that stuff, man. Just keep going. And then here's the SD cards that we have right here that are used. Here's the SD cards that are used. Here's the ones that are not yet. And then you grab an SD card out. Don't get it mixed up like I did. I did that on this bait, actually. Last time we went baiting, I got the SD cards mixed up, and I put in the old one again. And so we had no pictures. So you need to remember to put in the new one, not the old one.
Well, it's Sunday evening here. It's been quite a week, quite a weekend. So yesterday we got 10 stands up. We worked really hard and then had bunch of ribeyes grilled on, had a big meal for the guys that came and volunteered to help put the stands up. So that was really nice. Good workers really make things go well, and I'm really grateful to these guys that came and helped out. So my grandson Skyler was here, I think, for maybe like 9 days. He helped out a lot. Just is a really good worker for a 10-year-old, and just was real nice to have him here. He's got his own GoPro, and he generated a lot of footage that I had to go through, and I did put some of it in this video. My wife came up for the weekend, which was nice, but I got the place to myself here, and then tomorrow we're going to go out and start running baits again, just me and Bill. And we've got a lot more work to do. A couple more observations before I close this video. We have had the bait slow down quite a bit the last few days. There's just a lot of natural foods out there, and there was a lot of bear hunters, including myself, who saw acorns start dropping 3-4 weeks ago, and we thought, that's great. It's good that the acorns will be down. A lot of them will be cleaned up before the season starts. Well, they're still dropping. There is just an incredibly huge crop of acorns in a lot of areas this year. There's just a lot of natural foods out there. The raspberries are still going good, which is, I don't know that I've ever seen it before. I'm not sure how to characterize this year. It's really spotty in some areas. They got good rains at the right time, and there seems to be a lot of natural foods. In other areas, it's not so good. But we still got plenty of bears on the baits. It's just that we've seen a little bit of an uptick in nocturnal activity in the last few days, and also the bears are getting really picky. They're just kind of rummaging through the bait and picking out the things that they like, and that's typical when there's a lot of other food in the woods for them to eat. They're programmed to eat natural food, so what we're doing is out of the norm for them, I guess you could say. And so they the natural foods will always come first, even if it's sweeter or better tasting or better nutrition, the things that we're giving them. It's just the way it works. So we will see what happens here over the next few days. This is Sunday evening, and Thursday evening I've got some of my first hunters coming in. The rest of them are coming in Friday morning, and then we'll start hunting on Friday. I will try to bring you one more update before the season starts, and then we'll video the actual hunting and recovery of some of the bears. A couple of the guys that are hunting are going to film their hunts, and we'll bring that to you. I really appreciate that you watch these videos and comment on them, like them, and help grow this channel. It means a lot to me. It's very important to me. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you in a few days. Well, I guess we got time for one more update before we start killing bears tomorrow. So I'm really optimistic, really tired, just bushed. I mean, been going hard for 3 weeks, and we have gone through so much bait this year. I'm sure Bill would echo my sentiments that we're pretty wore out, and we are definitely ready for the next phase to start, and that is when we start taking hunters. Some of the hunters are coming in tonight, and the rest are coming in tomorrow. I asked them all to be here by noon tomorrow, so we can have an orientation, and then we'll have a big meal before we take them out to the stand tomorrow afternoon. So here's some things that have changed since the last video. The activity has picked up quite a bit. We actually had a couple more stands put out. Bill and I went out and put 2 more ladder stands because we had a couple of baits that really took off. I got to tell you, it's been a really strange year. Man, I just don't know what's going on with the natural foods. I know a lot of people are struggling. I'm hearing from people who are saying they haven't had bears on their baits for 8 days and things like that. And I had baits that were pretty slow that just really busted off in the last few days here. In fact, I had one that was really just basically nothing going on, and then all of a sudden, and I hadn't checked it for 6 days because I had decided it wasn't one of the top 10. We didn't put a stand in there, but then after 6 days, I figured I better run in there and just see, and the thing was just completely blown up, and the trail camera picture showed that there's 7 different bears on it, including 2 really nice ones. And it was a bait that I just could not understand why it hadn't been doing well at all, and then all of a sudden it just took off. Sometimes it's hard to explain. I'm still learning this, that's for sure. We also had another bait that I had given up on that I really liked the spot, but it just had 1 small bear on it that was there pretty much living there all the time, and then it got another nice mature shooter bear that moved in and is there pretty regular, so we went ahead and put a stand on that. We're going to put somebody in there tomorrow night. So anyway, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it, and we're going to start killing bears. And I mean, we've just gone through so much bait. It's kind of amazing to me. I think I've gone through 21 barrels of trail mix. I went and got 3 more, and they're gone too. And we've got some of the baits, we're filling a 30-gallon drum every single day, and it's just gone when we come back the next day. And if I'd have known it was going to go like this in the last few days before the season started, I would have put a second barrel out there, but it just really has accelerated here in the last 3-4 days. It's supposed to be hot this weekend. I really hope we can get all the bears out that get shot in a quick manner, and keep the meat good and everything like that, because it's supposed to be the second day of the season, supposed to be close to 90, and then third day of the season, Sunday, it's supposed to be 90. So we're going to be busy. Me and Bill and Jake are going to be busy getting bears out of the woods, and then Adam, my skinner, he's going to be working on them through the night and make sure all the meat gets in the freezer. We really don't want to have to leave a bear overnight, so I hope everybody makes good shots, and this is the best part coming up. So thanks for hanging with me and through all these vlogs, and on the next one there's going to be some dead bears, so I really appreciate your following along, and we will see you in a few days. It is afternoon here, and it's really hot. It's day 2, and I just want to see if I can remember exactly everything that happened on day 1 and bring you an update. So we shot at 2 bears, recovered 1. Shane made a perfect shot on just a gigantic sow. It weighed almost 300 pounds. And it went this way?
Yeah. There's 2 of them.
What here? Okay, he's on this trail. Oh, yeah. Really, looks like he's slowed. Oh my goodness! What the heck? What the heck? Somebody's deer stand. He died right under somebody's deer stand.
Yes. Yes, there he is.
Are you serious, man? Congratulations.
Thank you, Bernie.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Oh, what a relief.
That's a nice bear.
Thank you.
That is a really nice bear.
Oh,
He died right under somebody's deer stand. Are you kidding me?
how weird.
It's a big sow, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that big? I thought it looked awful big when it came in.
It's a huge sow. I mean, that's big. Good night. That bear's way over 200.
Yes! Hey, congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
Nice job.
Thank you for all the hard work. Oh
Thank
my God,
you.
you guys. This is like,
Look at the feet. That's one of the biggest sows I've seen in a long time.
I thought,
Beautiful bear.
when she came in, I was like, man, that's a big one. Jeez.
That's that huge one that we got on camera.
Okay, let's get the camera going here.
Wow.
Yeah. What the heck?
What a weird,
Whose
what was he trying to
tree
go up
stand
the
is this?
stand?
Are you kidding me? It's somebody's deer stand is what it is.
But he wasn't trying to go up the stand, right?
Who knows when you do that? Was
Its head is, that's weird. The whole thing is just deranged.
So here's, is if this is the entrance or exit. It's probably,
That's your entrance.
Yeah.
Because it was facing to your right.
you're right.
yeah, it's a pretty goddamn good size one.
That's a big honking sow. Lucas, with his .454 pistol shot at a bear, thought the shot was good, but they couldn't find any sign last night. Went back in with a tracking dog this morning and could not find any sign of a hit. And pretty much we all became convinced that that he didn't hit the bear. So I was kind of surprised that we only brought 1 bear in last night, but out of 7 hunters, 5 of them saw bears. So let's see if I can remember and recount it. So, well, Brad had just 1 bear. It was a yearling. Looked like probably it was a little over 100 pounds, and it's not what he's looking for. And then Tony had multiple bears, but just not really what he was looking for. Either he had a really big one come in right at dark and it was too dark to shoot. Tim did not see a bear on a bait. We're all really surprised that he did not see a bear. Greg saw a bear that he did not shoot, and when he brought the video back to camp, everybody looked at it like, you got to be kidding me, that's a huge bear, why didn't you shoot that bear? So he went back to the same stand tonight. So Zach and Allie didn't see a bear, but I put them back in that same stand because we pulled the card when we put them in there, and there's 3 bears in there during the daylight multiple times in the 2 days prior to putting them in there. So I got a pretty confident feeling that they're probably gonna see a bear tonight. So the guys that are kind of a long ways away from camp, our farthest stand is Rickety, and it's about 45 minutes at least from camp. Got a couple guys here just kind of enjoying the warm weather. We'll take them out here in a little bit because they're hunting in stands that are pretty close. So I expect that we will have more bears to skin tonight, and more than one most likely. And even though it's hot, I hope everybody makes a good shot, because when it's this hot, you hate to leave a bear overnight. All right, we'll catch up to you in a little bit. "9:30 in the morning, it's already 80 degrees and super humid. It's really tough bear hunting weather, but all you can do is complain about it. You can't change it. So here's day 3 update. So far 4 bears out of 7 people, and Lucas's bear was not found, unfortunately. But the good news is we got a tracking dog, and we came, and by the handler watching the tracking dog and the direction and the distance the bear went, I'm really convinced that it was a clean miss. So that's really good. So anyway, Lucas was back on the stand last night, and he had a bear come in at last light, like 7 minutes before the end of legal shooting light, and he had a lot in the back of his mind because of missing that bear the first night, and he just decided not to shoot. So Zach shot a bear last night. Zach and Allie are a young couple that's in camp with us, and they're really cool. It's really fun to have them in camp. And Zach hung a lone wolf stand right beside the ladder stand that he's hunting in, and Allie actually videotaped the shot with the 12 gauge slug, and shot a 144-pound sow. The bear ran within 15 yards of where we parked the four-wheeler, so that was pretty cool. And we got that thing skinned out. It was in the freezer before dark. And then Greg passed up that huge bear the first night. Well, came back the second night, and he decided to shoot it, but he made a bad shot on it. And so they trailed a lot of blood for about 180 yards last night, and the bear had not bedded, but it was stopping and leaving pools of blood. So they decided to back out. We had kind of an early breakfast this morning. They went back in to try to get that bear. And I really, really hope they come home with it. So I'm certain that he killed that bear. So his hunt is over, and I really, really hope that they bring it back and that it's still in good shape, because it got down into the upper 60s overnight, maybe 65 or something like that is all. And then it's already hot right now, and it's supposed to be 90 today and 90 tomorrow, and it's very high humidity. So we got to do everything we can to get these bears out of the woods in the evening. So we got more people to put in stands. We got 4 more to put out tonight. We only have one guy that hasn't seen a bear. Everybody's been passing bears and stuff, but it's absolutely time to start killing bears. So we got a lot of work to do. Here we go. Okay, it's 6 o'clock, day 3, and we got the 4 guys in the stands that still are hunting. And we've had a really up and down day, and it is so hot. I'm just exhausted. I went and we put the guys in the stands, and then I went and pulled a ladder stand out of one of the baits that has just died, and I got it here at camp, so I'm probably going to go put it out in the morning at another bait that doesn't have a stand, but it's picked up a little bit. So
today I went and checked a bunch of them, baited, and I'm out of bait again. And Wildwood is bringing me 4 barrels of trail mix tomorrow morning, so I can keep this going. Like I said, it's been an up and down day. Unfortunately, they spent quite a few hours in the woods tracking Greg's bear from last night, and it's pretty unclear where he hit it. There was a ton of blood last night, but the thing just kept going, so they decided to back out. And this morning they went out and they lost blood, and then we called in a dog, and the dog couldn't find it either. So as much blood as it lost, I feel pretty confident that he killed the bear, but unfortunately we did not recover it, and it's in the 90s right now. So if there's no way that if we would try to recover it tomorrow or something, it's no way the pelt or the meat's going to be any good. So that's very unfortunate, but it's just part of the ups and downs of doing this. Zach and Shane, because they've already got their bears, they've been kind of hanging out around camp and fishing and stuff like that. They're actually out in a fishing boat right now. Earlier I was too busy to stop and talk to him, but I saw Zach at the fish cleaning table cleaning fish, and then they went back out this afternoon. I think they're going to try to catch some northerns and stuff. Fishing's actually pretty good, but this heat has really slowed the bear activity. I mean, we're still getting a few bears on camera in the daylight. Everybody has seen bears from the stand and past bears or shot bears except for Tim, and just bad luck. For whatever reason, he's just not being in the right place at the right time. I just got a text. No, I was really hoping that would be one of the hunters, but it's not. Greg's been filming quite a bit, so I don't know how much of that I'll be able to use, but we're having bear camp here, and we're eating really good, and we're having fun. I got a great group of guys that are just real positive about it, even though it's difficult. And the good news is they are seeing bears. Now being the 3rd day, I think some of them that are being a little bit selective, or maybe kind of getting more itchy to pull the trigger. So we will close this out. We'll do another video here in a few days. That is a deer track. That is a moose track. Moose track, moose track. And there are wolf tracks. All heading down this power line. This is the North Woods, folks. Day 4, it's supposed to get up in the 90s again today, and honestly I don't think it's going to. We got a little bit of rain coming down, which is nice. They're starting to call me the vitamin man, because the vitamin guide. They're calling me the vitamin guide because we're getting 1 a day. And hopefully we're going to change that. We got 3 guys that still haven't got a bear. So Tim had not even seen a bear, and then he shot a beautiful chocolate last night. Just a really nice bear with a great pelt and just a really beautiful chocolate. So he's a really happy camper, and he owns a business, so he packed up and left this morning, took his bear,
and left, so he's going to miss out on the grilled pork chops and potato salad and all that, but he'll be all right. So today I'm going to move Tony again. Brad wants to go back where he was last night, and I don't blame him. He saw a really nice bear. There was a pretty good one in there about noon, and then I put him in there about 4, and at 4:30 there's a pretty nice bear that stepped out. He said it looked really good. He just saw the front half of its body, and it looked around, and then he felt a gust of wind on the back of his neck, and the bear left. So we're going to give him another chance in there. The stand that I pulled yesterday afternoon, sitting here in camp, and I think I'm going to go put that up. But I've got another bait. I actually got 2 baits that are going pretty good, and I really think I want to get a stand on one of those 2. So I'm going to go out and check those again today. Jake and Bill went to bait the 3 baits up by the clear cut, and Lucas decided he wanted to go with them just to hang out with them and kind of get a look at it. And he took his hunting stuff with him. It's about 35 minutes away to these 3 baits in that area. And the one that he hunted 2 nights ago was just completely cleaned out and had multiple daylight bears on it. And he's just like, it's before noon, but he's like, put me in, man. And he might get rained on, but he's in the stand. And there's a pretty high percentage chance he's going to kill one tonight. That'll be cool. So we're still plugging away at it. We got good places to put people. We got daylight pictures of bears, and we're going to try to fill this thing out and get everybody one. I'll talk to you in a little while. Well, I'm going to take a little break here and give you a day 5 update. I'm just going to sit on the deck here and relax a little bit because it was another late night and early morning, and it's been pretty crazy. So the last 2 hunters are in the stand, and I'll bring you up to speed on the 3 bears that we've shot since the last video. I think I mentioned that Tim had shot his bear on night 3. Also on Labor Day, I had 4 more barrels of trail mix delivered because I was just out of trail mix again. I've just been going through it like crazy this year. The bears just keep hitting and pounding away. I ended up having to have it delivered from Wildwood, so thanks to Jason for bringing it all the way up here. I really needed it, and he drove it up on Labor Day. We're able to keep the trail mix on them, and the bears are still hitting. We got pretty good action on the baits. It's slower, obviously, than it was a week ago. I've been hearing that a lot of outfitters are really struggling right now, so I'm really grateful for where I'm at. We're at 5 out of 7. Everybody has had an opportunity to shoot a bear. There's been some bears that have been passed up. And we had a bear that was missed, and we had a bear that was wounded. Typically, if you wound a bear, your hunt's over. I gave Greg a second chance. I've had second chances in my life, and I just decided to go ahead and let him continue to hunt. So about 8 o'clock last night, I got a text from Jake, who's way up at the north end. He's parked a couple hundred yards from the clear cut bait, and he says, I just heard Lucas shoot. And so he's going in. And sure enough, he went in, and Lucas had shot a really big, nice male. They spent a long time tracking it. He shot it with a 30-30, and he went kind of a long ways. So they got that bear back in late, and we ended up being just under 300 pounds. Got a big head on it, too. Well, in the meantime, I had driven out to within about 150 yards of where Tony was hunting, and he was hunting a bait that just had 2 nice bears on it. It's got that huge chocolate, but that bear is just way too irregular. So I was sitting there about 100 yards away. He heard me drive up and shut off the side-by-side, and he texted me and he said, there's a bear at the bait. You know, I was concerned that he wouldn't have enough shooting light. So I texted him, do you have enough light to shoot? And as soon as I did that, all of a sudden, kaboom! And then I texted him, I guess so. So he shot a 200 and some pound male that dropped right in a pile of peanuts, and that's kind of the way we like him. I said, how far to go? And he said, about a foot straight down. And we got that thing loaded up and got it out of there and got it back to camp, and it was completely skinning in the freezer before Jake and Lucas got all the way down here with their bear, because they had quite an effort, the 2 of them, getting that big bear out.
So it was a long night last night. So I've been pulling some stands that I know we're not going to need anymore. So we got quite a few of the barrels and cameras and tree stands out of the woods today. Greg went to the moose bait where Tim shot his 2 days ago. Brad went back to the bait where he hunted the first night and passed up a smaller bear. There is 2 really nice bears in there. One of them's a chocolate, and he's never shot a chocolate, so that's a long ways away to run just one guy up there. I mean, it's a good 40 minutes or more, and a lot of gravel road driving and back roads and stuff, but we got him in there, and I really, really hope he gets a bear. I would really hate for him to leave without a bear. But there's a whole lot of people leaving outfitters in Minnesota without a bear this year. I've been hearing horror stories of outfitters that have, like one that has 25 hunters and has only shot 6 bears, and one that has 23 hunters and has only shot 4 bears. And one of the biggest outfitters in the state had 63 hunters and had only killed 14 bears as of the 3rd day. So it's a tough year in Minnesota this year, and I'm really grateful for where we're at right now. So we got 2 more guys in the woods, and I'll wrap this up after we get them, and we'll figure out where we're at here for the next, we got today and tomorrow, and Brad has to go home after today, so I'll only have 1 guy tomorrow if Greg doesn't shoot tonight. I really ready to get this done, man. It's been a long month. Talk to you in a little bit. Well, it's day 6, final day, and we got some rain last night. Everybody sat in the rain. The 2 hunters that we had left had to sit in the rain, and neither one of them saw a bear. Brad had to leave this morning, and that's really unfortunate because I really wish I would have had 1 more day to try to get him a bear. So Greg's the only one still hunting. Lucas has stayed on. Even though he shot a bear a couple days ago, he just likes being in bear camp, and which is great. I think I'm surprised when people leave early because they got their bear, but some do every year. Cool thing is I got up early this morning because I've got all these dishes in the sink, and I got to get these dishes all washed before breakfast. And I came in the lodge and they were all washed, and I accused Lucas of not stopping the magic dwarf that washed all my dishes for me, but I know he did, so that's pretty nice of him. Greg has been really helpful too. He went out and helped take tree stands down for me today. The 2 of us went out and checked some cards and pulled stands, pulled baits. Lucas has been working really hard with Bill for 2 days, taking out baits and stuff like that. So we're down to just last few baits and trying to decide where to put Greg tonight, and I think we're going to put him back in raspberry. It looks like it's the best option for us. There's multiple. We killed a bear there the first night. We've kept bait in it, and there's still more bears in there, so I feel like that's the best place to put him. It's been very strange with baits that go hard for a few days and then die. It's been a weird year. We are pulling the baits that just aren't doing very well, and getting them out of the woods while we got help here. You know, we got 13 stands up, 15 baits out with 13 stands, and that's a lot of work for 2 guys to get them all out of the woods. So it's pretty nice to have a couple guys here to help. It's about 60 degrees right now, which is 35 degrees or more colder than it was when we were putting people in the stand 2 days ago. So this has been a really strange season, just bizarre. But we've got some bears. Well, guys, it is September 7th, and it's about 6:30 in the morning, and we're done. This season's over. There were a lot of unexpected twists and turns this year, that's for sure. It was really exciting and fun at times, and it was really frustrating at times. So last night Greg did not see a bear. He was the only one in the stand, and the stand he was on had a nice chocolate on it on camera. I looked at the camera, and when I dropped him off, and a real nice chocolate bear in there. And there's also the day before there was a nice big male, probably pushing 300 pounds, and none of those came while he was at the bait. It is currently 50 degrees colder than it was a couple days ago when I dropped people off. the weather has been bizarre, to say the least. Never had anything like this in Minnesota for opening day of bear baiting before. The first 3 days, you know, upper 90s, crazy stuff. But we still killed bears. Everybody saw bears. Everybody had an opportunity to shoot a bear, and so that was really, you know, the most satisfying thing, I guess. You know, Greg's going home without a bear, but he did shoot one on the second day, which we could not recover. Brad also went home without a bear, and he passed up a bear on opening day, which he estimated was about 140 pounds, and then he had another bear, a really nice bear, in front of him briefly. Unfortunately, he was reading a book, and the wind probably is what betrayed him, and plus he just wasn't prepared for the shot. And typically you don't have to be that prepared at a bait site, because the bears give you plenty of opportunity to pick the right shot, but this one did not, and so I'm very unfortunate that he didn't get one. But sitting at 100% shot opportunity right now, I'm hearing, I know a guy, a small outfitter near here that takes only 400s, but only one of his got bears, and I'm hearing about a lot of outfitters that are just ran 20 and 30% this year. And it was just tough in so many ways. It wasn't just the weather. Tons of natural foods. And it was just weird. We'd have baits that were really going good. They'd have 4 or 5 bears on them. And then all of a sudden, it's like you threw a switch and they were gone. None of them came back. It was, I don't even know how to explain. It's going to take me a while to unpack it. I'll probably do a video later on talking about some of the things that I learned and some of the things that happened. And we had some pretty bizarre stuff happen, even like I've got a picture of a guy in shorts and a tank top on one of my baits. I have no idea how he found that bait. But the good part is we had a lot of really good guys. Everybody in camp this year was really good, and good attitude, helpful people. Lucas stuck around for the whole week, did some fishing, went to the woods with us and helped pull stands and help bait, even washed the dishes when I wasn't looking. We had just all around great group of guys, and I feel really fortunate about that. Greg is the only one that put quite a bit of effort into filming his hunts. He did a lot of filming, took a lot of footage, and I hope I'll be able to use some of that and possibly make a video specifically on his hunt. Well, this place looks like it got hit by a tornado, both inside and outside. We got all the stands and everything out of the woods and all the baits out, but man, it's going to take some while to organize and straighten this all up and clean things up and get ready for next year. So just wanted to say how grateful I am that you watch these videos and that you follow along. I really do get a lot of satisfaction and pleasure out of helping other people get bears and learn more about bear hunting the right way. And I also enjoy bringing these to you, even though it's a lot of extra work. And so I really just want to genuinely thank you for being a part of this, and we'll see you on the next video. I'm heading to Michigan.